Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here with another amazing review for those Star Wars films. I figured I'd go ahead and do the Star Wars films. I've been wanting to do those for a while now, and I've just never gotten around to it because it seems like there's so damn many of them that just the new one pops out like once every month, feels like it, especially with Disney owning the franchise now. As far as I'm concerned, I really don't think you needed any new Star Wars films past the original three. But since we got them, I'm going to review them all, and I am a fan. I am. Star Wars, the original, or Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope, whichever you prefer, I think is a great sci-fi fantasy film. I do think the movie runs a little bit long, and some of the acting is a little weak. Mark Hamill's acting is a little weak. I think he improves in the sequels, and I actually think he does a good job in Jedi. For me, Jedi is his best performance, in my opinion. But as a whole, this is a great movie. Darth Vader, just the whole idea of the Force and everything like that. Say what you want about George Lucas, but this is a really cool idea for a movie. Easily a 4-star film. From 1 to 4, easily 4 stars. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite. I love this one. This is the one masterpiece film of the franchise. I love this film, by far the best of the franchise. Everybody knows Luke, I Am Your Father. It's been done 50 billion times. It's been parodied to friggin' death. These reviews are going to be pretty much quick because there's really nothing I can say about these films that hasn't already been said. Empire Strikes Back, when Luke gets his hand cut off, watching that for the first time, it's like, damn, you know. Yeah, just a great movie, masterpiece of a film, and it's the one not directed by Lucas, which is really out of the original three, which is funny to me. And then you get Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi, this film seems to be really liked, but at the same time it has like a minority of people who kind of look down on it. Well, it is, honestly, it is the weakest of the three. I still think this is a great conclusion for the most part for the final film of this trilogy. Oh, and Empire Strikes Back is easily a 4-star film, obviously. And Return of the Jedi, I also think is a 4-star film. So I really like the Star Wars trilogy. I think all three are great movies to different extents, with 2 being the only masterpiece. Jedi, the problems I have with it, yes, the Death Star retread thing they do in the movie is stupid. But I love, and Yoda, like, his death seemed to just, like, be thrown in there for some reason. I'm not sure why that even happens in the movie. I guess they were just wanting to wrap everything up to an extent of, like, just killing a bunch of people off. And I love the ending with Darth Vader and him taking off his helmet and him like saving his son, Luke Skywalker. I love that. And Mark Hamill's good in the movie. I will say this: the movie spends so much time in the start at Jabba's palace that I pretty much, by the time we get back to Vader and them, I've kind of forgotten about Vader. I think this movie shouldn't have spent as much time as it did story-wise at Jabba's palace and stuff. I think they could have gotten through that quicker. It almost seems like there's 2 movies here, like a mini Jabba movie, and then a Star Wars Episode 3 or Return of the Jedi movie, whatever you want to call it. Well, that includes Episode 6, but yeah. But yeah, and the little teddy bear guys, I hated those little teddy bear aliens in the movie. I did not like those at all. But all in all, I still find a lot of enjoyment with this film. I like the lightsaber battles, and I love the ending to this. All in all, 4-star film as far as I'm concerned. And the films could have really have stopped here, in my opinion. I would have been perfectly fine with this being the ending of this franchise. But since we got the prequels, I'm not going to BS around it. I'm not going to pretend to hate the prequels just because other people do. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on the prequels. And just to start off, I hate the Phantom Menace. I hate this movie. I hate Phantom Menace. It's a Star Wars film made strictly for little kids. That's what it is. And I know some people like Darth Maul, but Darth Maul, just his look. I mean, I like the action he does, and like the fighting and his double-bladed lightsaber is friggin' awesome. That's cool. And his ending fight with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson is cool. Liam Neeson doesn't really seem to be bringing his A game in this movie. But my problem with Darth Maul is like he doesn't really do anything for 99% of the movie until the ending final battle. And his look is just like so silly. It's like almost like, look at me, I am evil. You believe it. It's like in your face, like I'm evil. Because his look is like so over the top. It's like the guy from that horror film, Insidious. Or I guess that film copied the look from this one since it came out first. But yeah, pretty much that. All in all, I wish I could like this movie. Jar Jar Binks is the worst thing in the Star Wars franchise. I hate this character so bad. I saw this movie, he just grated on my nerves so bad. I just can't stand this character. And I'm not just saying that because a lot of other people feel that way. Honestly, every film I watch, I'm not a person that tries to just go with the masses to go with them. I judge every movie I watch fairly, and this film I do just think sucks. When they get up to the point where they're using like suction cup guns to like scale a building, it's like, is this like a 60s Adam West Batman episode? And Jake Lloyd is bad. He's bad in this movie. And some of the dialogue is just downright stupid. Yeah, all in all, I'd give this movie a 1.5. It's the worst Star Wars film in my opinion. And Attack of the Clones, I do think Hayden Christensen is weak in this movie. I don't think he's absolutely horrible. He's just really weak and borderlines on like bad for me in this movie. I can stand him in the film. Once again, it's the dialogue though. It's not even him. It's just some of the dialogue he gets is atrocious. Some of the love dialogue is so bad in this movie. I do like some of the lightsaber battles. I like the, I think it's the Obi-Wan. It's like fight scenes in the movie, and Samuel Jackson's fight scenes in the movie. I enjoy both those, and his purple lightsaber is really cool. And the ending like fight with Yoda and Christopher Lee, Count Dooku. Even though Yoda's overuse of flips is a little annoying, I still think it's an enjoyable fight. Another biggest problem I have with this movie is the crappy dialogue at times and way too freaking much CGI. Way too much. And just the stories of these prequel movies, all this stupid rambling talk about Senate hearings. I can deal with some of it, but it's just like non-stop political talks. And I'm just like, shut the hell up and just have fun like the original Star Wars films. I don't want to hear this BS about Senate hearings. I mean, come on. I don't give a shit about trade routes. But anyway, all in all, I think this is a okay movie. It's an okay, like, for the action in the movie, I think it's an okay movie. It's like a time waster. There's way too much freaking CGI in this film to the point where it started feeling like a video game. Like, see, I don't have a problem with CGI if it's done well and used right. The problem with a lot of films is they use CGI when there's no reason to even have CGI. A lot of blockbuster movies. Like, there's stuff in this film that's CGI, and there's no reason it should have been CGI. And it's just, and then there's too much CGI when there doesn't, like, they'll add in CGI in places where there didn't even need to be any. It's weird. It's stupid. It makes the film look too much like a video game. Now we get to episode 2. I would give 2 stars. It's an okay movie. Time waster. Attack of the Clones, I mean. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I actually like this one for the darker feel of it. And Hayden Christensen's performance in this is better. Not much better than 2, but it is better. He's all right here in this film. He's all right. And the lava fight at the end, the lightsaber fight between him and Obi-Wan, does go on too long, but still really cool. And when he's like burning up alive after his limbs has been cut off, I love like the dark feel of that. And for the action and the darker feel of this one, I'd give it 3.5 stars. This is a pretty good movie. None of these 3 prequel movies come close to the original trilogy, but for action and the dark vibe of this movie, it's pretty good. Everybody knows there's still some bad dialogue in this film, like when the Emperor or whatever is screaming, "No!" That's terrible. I can't believe that was even in this film. It's so atrocious. General Grievous was cool though, and I liked his action scenes. The look of the film is too CGI at times, way too CGI. But other times it does look really beautiful and crisp, and I like that. There's just too much CGI in certain shots in the background. But other than that, I do think this is the best looking film of these 3 prequel films. So yeah, all in all, pretty good film. And Ewan McGregor is likable as Obi-Wan. And I do like how it ties everything up. I mean, it's a prequel film, ended, tied up. If these films are gonna lead into the original 3, you know, it's best to actually do that, tie it up, you know. Yeah, all in all, pretty good film. Well, pretty good action-wise and stuff. The story is actually about on par, probably, with Return of the Jedi, maybe just a little weaker, but the dialogue is so much worse. And once again, the trade route shit and all that Senate stuff is still here. Still here. And I still don't care. But yeah, all in all, pretty good movie. 3.5 for the action, and the characters are enjoyable. The Force Awakens I think is the best. Is The Force Awakens is great for a sequel for the seventh film in a franchise. This is a great sequel. Problems with the film is a lot of obvious stuff that other people have already mentioned. It retreads too much ground from A New Hope. It feels too much like story-wise like a slight remake of A New Hope. But there's enough new stuff here and cool stuff going on to make this film stand on its own at the same time. And I like how like the bad guys and the good guys in the film aren't really sure of themselves or what they want to be. Like the bad guy in the film, Kylo Ren. I think he's a good villain because he's not really a villain yet because he doesn't really know who or what he wants to be. And even though the scene was predictable where he kills Harrison Ford's Han Solo's character, the scene was still played very well. Even though it was predictable that it was going to happen, I still liked the way they acted in it, and I still liked the way it was executed. You know what I mean? I still liked the way it ended, like the culmination of it. It was acted well with Harrison Ford's like body like falling off the bridge in a really sentimental way. I like the way it was done. Other problems with the film is the main character, although the actress does a good job, she is way too powerful, way too quick in this movie. Way too quick. Even at the end of the film, when they try to say that Kylo Ren is weakened, and that she should be able to take him down, and that he should be easier to take down, she still does way too good against him. Way too good. He still should have been able to do massive damage to her with her only like barely winning since she's had hardly any training whatsoever in the Force or lightsaber dueling. Way too powerful, way too quick. That's my biggest problem with this movie is the way they use her character. And I do believe, like a lot of other people, that it was done like that because she was a female. And a lot of directors just don't know how to handle creating a strong female. They're like, well, if we want the character to be treated equally like the men, if a guy punches her in the face, we're going to be accused of abuse towards women, promoting abuse. And if we don't show that she's as good as the men, or gets as good as the men quicker, we're afraid that we're going to be accused of sexism. So they automatically just make the character super powerful, even though it makes no sense story-wise. I hated that. But yeah, other than that, this movie still feels and looks much more like a Star Wars film than any of those three prequels did, and it's much better than those prequels. It is. This is a great sequel. 4 stars for what it is, a sequel, but this movie, to me, could not stand on its own. Now, Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One, I'll just say I would give Rogue One 3.5 stars. I think it's a pretty good film. It's a little bit better than Revenge of the Sith, but not by much. Once again, it still feels more like a Star Wars film than the 3 prequel movies. My biggest problem in this film is that it's really bland and kind of boring for like the whole first, a little bit over the first half of the movie, and I was really just not into this film for over the first half of the film. And a lot of the main characters are just kind of bland. Except for Donnie Yen and the robot in this film. The android in this film and Donnie Yen are the best 2 parts of this film. They were great. But everybody else was just kind of there. They weren't so much bad. There just really wasn't any reason to give a crap about them. They just didn't leave much of an impression. And by the time... But by the time it got to the point where it was getting closer to the 3rd act, that's when the film became more enjoyable. About over halfway through the movie, the film picked itself up, became more enjoyable, and the characters started becoming more likable. And the ending of this movie is just friggin' like super dark, epic. I love the ending to this film. And I love how it links up directly with the original, or A New Hope, whatever you want to call it. I love how it links up directly with that. I loved that. That was cool. Another problem with this film is Carrie Fisher's CGI looks alright to make her look younger. It looks alright. It looks fine. But Peter Cushing, like trying to do a whole CGI, like human, they still haven't perfected that. And they never will, in my opinion. And when I saw him in this film, him being a CGI person, it just looks like a PlayStation video game. Honestly. It looks no better to me than a video game. A low-rent video game. So they should never have done that. They should have either have replaced the actor with a lookalike, or they should have just left the character out and said he was off doing something else wherever. But I also like how the film connects with episode 3 as well, because Vader is like on the lava planet. He's like got a castle there. I thought that was cool. Yeah, all in all, pretty good film. really dull for me and bland for like the slightly for the first half and a little bit over the first half. But after the first half, I feel this film picks up really good, and I just love the epic third act of this film, and the ending is great, in my opinion. Yeah, all in all, 3.5 star film, pretty good film. I look forward to seeing the next Star Wars film. I will say this: the new like Emperor replacement guy, Snoke or whatever, the big CGI tall dude. I hate that. It looks like shit. Okay, whatever they do in the next movie, they need to really make that character better or more imposing or something. They need to do something with that. But I am looking forward to it. But that character, it just looks like a CGI goofwad. It just takes me out of the movie. He just look once again. It just looks like a video game. Yeah. So all in all, I love the Star Wars franchise. The only film in the franchise I absolutely hate is Phantom Menace. It sucks in my opinion. So just to recap, Star Wars New Hope, or just Star Wars 4 stars. Empire Strikes Back, my favorite masterpiece of a film in my opinion, 4 stars. Return of the Jedi, 4 stars. Not as well written as the first two, but still a great conclusion in my opinion. A good enough conclusion. Phantom Menace sucks, 1.5 star. Attack of the Clones is an okay movie, 2 stars. Revenge of the Sith, 3.5. Pretty good movie for the action and the darkness of it. Still too much CGI. Force Awakens is a great sequel, better than all the prequel films, but takes too much from A New Hope. And Rogue One is a pretty good like spin-off movie. So yeah, all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll jump back at you with whatever movie comes next. I'll probably do some like just spontaneous random movie reviews next instead of like doing another franchise. I just like watching like random stuff sometimes instead of being like bogged down to doing like one particular group of movies. But I still had fun doing this. So I'll see you guys again with the next review.